What we're looking at here is a brain model for Bio 105. So the major part of the brain that we see right here, that is called the cerebrum. And there's a couple of structures we want you to know on the cerebrum. These areas that have these little grooves right here are called sulci. Sulcus is singular, sulci is plural. But sulci are grooves in the cerebrum. These areas where there are no grooves are called a gyrus. So gyrus, gyri is plural, gyrus is singular. Grooves are sulcus, no groove areas are gyrus. So this whole brain region, though, is the cerebrum. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the brain and I'm going to show a sagittal section of the brain. So all this up here, once again, is cerebrum. You see sulcus here, gyrus here. We see the cerebellum down here as well, again. And now we're seeing a structure within the cerebellum that kind of looks like a tree. And that structure, that white structure there, is called the arbor vitae. It literally means tree of life. So the tree of life, the arbor vitae, is on the cerebellum. This structure right here connects the two lobes of the cerebrum, and that is known as the corpus callosum. So that right there is the corpus callosum. This region of the brain right here, this brain region is known as the midbrain. We can turn it and we can see there's midbrain there as well. This structure, this part of the brain right there is known as the pons. If I turn it once again, there's the pons as well. The part of the brain below the pons right here is our medulla oblongata. So that is the medulla oblongata. And once again, if I turn it, there's the medulla oblongata as well. Moving into this region here, this brain region right here is called the thalamus. This brain region here is called the hypothalamus. So this is the thalamus. This brain region is the thalamus. This brain region is the hypothalamus. And what you can see coming off of the hypothalamus, and this is not on all the models, but that is the pituitary gland. So thalamus, hypothalamus, pituitary gland. So now let's look at the cranial nerves. This nerve right here is the olfactory nerve, also known as the olfactory bulb. The next nerve here is the optic nerve. The optic nerve comes down to this structure right here, which is known as the optic chiasma. And then the third nerve that we want you to know is this little guy right here, and that is known as the ocular motor nerve. So olfactory, optic chiasma, ocular motor. Now let's look at this when we have the brain put together. Once again, here's olfactory, optic. This right here is the optic chiasma. Then we have to move the pituitary gland, and we see there are the ocular motors. They sit right above this, which is the pons.